The OnePlus 2, a self-proclaimed 2016 flagship killer. The OnePlus 3, OnePlus's 2016 flagship. That's confusing. Jokes apart, what's changed? Should you upgrade? Well, let's find out in this video. But before we do, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash and you're watching C4 Retech. Let's get started. First, let's start with the built-in design. With the OnePlus 3, OnePlus have changed a few things while preserving other OnePlus design staples. For starters, the removable back's gone now, replaced by metal. So no sandstone, but OnePlus are selling cases that pop to the back, and given that the OnePlus 3 is 1.5mm slimmer and a tad narrower, the case doesn't really add bulk, almost feels like a skin. The OnePlus 3 is also lighter by about 15 grams, so ergonomically, the OnePlus 3 is a refinement. The camera does pop out though. Despite the smaller footprint, OnePlus have managed to retain the 5.5-inch display size with this phone. It's still a Full HD display, but the change is welcome. The OnePlus 3 now sports an AMOLED panel compared to the IPS LCD panel on its predecessor. Yeah, we've all heard how it's a pentile matrix and how the OnePlus 2's display gets brighter, but the AMOLED panel is an improvement over its predecessor. The contrast is much better, the colors are more vibrant, a little saturated, yes, but OnePlus will soon be addressing it with an update. Underneath the hood, the OnePlus 2 sports a Snapdragon 810 chip, and to handle its tendency to overheat, OnePlus had underclocked the cores. The OnePlus 3, on the other hand, sports the Snapdragon 820 chip, and almost all implementations of this chip have been great. No heating issues, no throttling, just pure performance. The 810 on the OnePlus 2 is still quite good and gets the job done. It's also worth mentioning that the OnePlus 3 has 6 gigs of RAM compared to 3 or 4 gigs on the OnePlus 2. Now, 6 gigs of RAM doesn't really mean a lot from a day-to-day usage standpoint. OnePlus have actually gone on record to state that in order to optimize battery life, they've actually limited the amount of RAM that can be used, meaning the 6 gigs of RAM was mainly meant to build hype, call attention, be a USP, a unique selling point. We were, in fact, one of the first to break the story about RAM management issues with the OnePlus 3, and that's actually led to OnePlus promising to fix it with the upcoming 3.1.4 update. Anyway, what does that mean to OnePlus 2 owners? Nothing really. An extra 2 gigs of RAM is not really going to change the way you use your phone, so from a hardware perspective, the 820 actually brings a lot more performance, and that's what you need to be looking at, not the RAM. Now, back to the reason for the RAM access being limited with the OnePlus 3. OnePlus actually decided to put in a smaller capacity battery, a 3000 mAh battery compared to the 300 mAh battery from the OnePlus 2. The battery life on the OnePlus 3 is still decent, about the same as we've gotten with its predecessor, but with the upcoming RAM fix, what kind of effect is it going to have on battery life? Well, only time will tell, but hopefully it remains the same. But again, that's something you need to note. Talking about things to note, the OnePlus 3 has support for dash charging and even comes bundled with a dash charger. So this lets it go from 0 to 60 in about 30 minutes. As far as the cameras go, the OnePlus 2 has a 13 megapixel rear shooter with an f2.0 aperture, a 1x2.6-inch sensor, optical image stabilization, and a laser assist for autofocus. The OnePlus 3, on the other hand, replaces that with a 16 megapixel shooter, a marginally smaller 1x2.8-inch sensor, and the same f2.0 aperture. It's worth noting that there's no laser assist for autofocus this time around. That said, the newer 16 megapixel camera does outperform the 13 megapixel camera from the OnePlus 2. Colors are a tad better on the images shot with this camera. There is also a little bit more detail. So with that, we get to the software. I'm not really going to talk about this a lot here since both phones run on Oxygen OS built on top of Marshmallow, and the feature list is quite similar. Not a lot of changes, and the few changes will eventually make their way over to the OnePlus 2 via software updates. So overall, the OnePlus 3 is definitely the better device. It's newer, it's priced higher, and of course it's going to be better. In my honest opinion, it is worth the extra $100 or 6,000 rupees over the OnePlus 2. So if you are choosing between both today, go with the OnePlus 3. But if you do already own a OnePlus 2, you don't really have to rush out and upgrade to a OnePlus 3 because the OnePlus 2, even as of today, is a solid performer. Do you agree with my take on this? Let me know in the comments below. So I guess that's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, vote it down if you didn't. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. If you do want to pick either of these phones, I'll leave direct links in the description below to use them if you want to help the channel out. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.